Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is part 3 of the early spring preparation guide. We're going to calibrate my battery powered backpack sprayer with a 1,000 foot area with 1 gallon of water. Already measured out the area, so let's get started. We're going to fill our backpack spreader up with 1 gallon of water. Refilling. Alright, today we're going to be using the Petra HD 4000 that was given to me by Petra Tools. And I've got a 1,000 foot area marked out. What I want to try to figure out today is on the variable adjustment setting, I want to figure out if I can have a marked setting, put a Sharpie on it, perhaps at like 50% on, and see if at my pace that gets me 1 gallon of water used per 1,000 square feet. Now, you can use a lot of different things that have different dilution ratios, but a good standard way to go is whatever product you use, 1 gallon per 1,000 square feet. You don't have to. You can figure out the math on the various products you use based on that product's dilution ratio, but let's stick to that for right now. It's an easy formula. So I'm gonna get started. All right, before you go crazy, I've never used pesticides, herbicides, or fertilizers in that tank, and I should have let the dog inside. In the future, the dog will stay inside when I actually use real product, but that was pretty funny. So I did actually get 1 gallon per 1,000 square feet roughly. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark this setting I have on here. So I know that's my limit. And that's my early spring prep tip for you. Find a nice day to get out in the yard. Figure out how to use your backpack sprayer. If you don't have one, you can use a granular fertilizer. The granular fertilizer I always recommend, if you've never used it before or used a new product, cut the rate down by like 33%. So if it's like a Scott's mini broadcast spreader, it says use an 11. Maybe start out with a 7 or an 8 or even a 6. And then you can always bump it up from there or make more passes. The worst thing is you spend an extra few minutes going over your yard, depending how big it is. But that's my tip for the day. I'm gonna go ahead and put some humic and fulvic acid on the yard. We're getting to about 45-degree temps on average. And let's start encouraging that green up. One of the things I did is I'll throw some extra footage in from when I raked my yard. That's a pretty cool thing to do early spring. All right, by raking those areas, you're gonna lift up the foliar blades and expose the crown, which will give more oxygen to the crown, and it'll just get rid of that matted down feeling, and it'll help encourage growth as soon as those soil temperatures hit 50-55 degrees. And if you're in Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, probably Kentucky, Iowa, Nebraska, pretty much the Midwest, you're going to start seeing days that are 50, 55, 60, and then it'll get back down to freezing at night, come back up, and we'll do that for probably 30 days, depending on the year. But this year I kind of suspect we're going to get an early spring because we didn't really have that big of a winter. We got some late snows, but it really was never that cold. So get out in your yard, start raking up the leaves and the blades, and it's going to make your grass look nicer already just by doing that, because it won't have that matted down look, especially where areas you walk through in the snow or in the cold when there's frost, and places where you pile up lots of snow, the edge of driveways. Those areas are going to be really matted down. You definitely want to get oxygen in there. That'll help you with any fungal issues you might have, especially with the high moisture content that's going to happen here with spring and all the precipitation you get. So, free tip for that. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.